Right, today is the 5th of April, and what we're doing now is what's called winter pruning, but obviously the 5th of April we do it in spring. If you had a vineyard of 100,000 vines, you obviously have to start in November. Because we've got relatively few vines, we start later. So we started doing this process around about the end of January, beginning of February. So what we have here is what the plant looks like in winter. Everything you see here basically is last year's growth, is 1 year's growth. Now what we need to do is get rid of everything but two shoots, two stems, which will then be bent down, as I will show you later. The art is to select which shoot you want to keep, and this is done on the basis of the thickness of the stem, so you don't want spindly little things, and how they relate to this part of the plant, which is the crown. If you keep taking shoots further and further away, this gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Eventually you lose this area in the middle to growth, so you try to keep it as close as possible to the centre. And there is kind of an art to it, and so what we're looking for is something about a metre, metre and a half long, and at least the thickness of a pencil. So the easiest way to do it is to get rid of something you definitely don't want. Now this is too long, it's too far away, so we get rid of that. And that goes. That one again is too far from the centre here, from the crown, so that can go. And what happens is that one person comes around and selects the shoots and cuts the other stems off, and then another person comes around and takes all the dead wood out. So I've decided to select this shoot here, so all this can go. And you can see the plant is alive now, because you can see the green sap coming out of it, and it's green wood in it. If you keep going up and up and up, again the crown goes up as well as out. So we're taking that one. Not sure about the next one, so we'll take that one off, because we don't want that because it's long. That one's too small. Take that off. Right, so there's now a choice between that one and that one, or that one. And that one's lower than this one, so that can go. Then for the people coming around after you to take the wood out, you then clean it up by taking all the side shoots off. There's several reasons for taking the side shoots off. One is they get in the way, and the other is they will grow stuff that you don't want. Each one of these points here is a bud which will produce a shoot. It will produce shoots like the ones we've just cut off, and it will produce grapes. So you don't want too many, because if you have too many grapes they don't develop properly. So again, it's a judgment call, but you're looking for around about 7 buds. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is a big strong plant, so 8, so I'm going to cut it there. Right, this one is the same, so you keep it the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So keep it roughly the same. That goes there. Trim off the awkward bits that get in the way. And there's one plant pruned. And we only have 5,000 more to do. The reason we're cutting all the extra bits of wood round here off is because it's the wood will sort of die back, and it'll be a place for disease to grow in dead wood. So you want to keep it as neat as possible. And you imagine that this plant is going to grow for maybe 30 years. If you don't control it, this bit just gets enormous. This is where you have to be careful that you don't suddenly cut the one you want to keep. Of course, an expert like Hans, who's done most of the vineyard, could walk up to a plant and just instantly look at it and decide which shoots he wants to take. I've only been doing it a few years, so it takes me a bit longer. And again, the reason you take all these little spindly bits off here is because the next stage, which we will show you, is when you bend down and just get in the way. That's that one. It has to be that one. Hans would have gone by now. Also, he has powered secateurs, which are like something from a James Bond movie. The important thing is when you're taking the top off, is you leave about a centimetre and a half between the bud there, or the shoot there and there, because you get a bit of dye back there. And if you do it right at it, it kills the end bud. And sometimes, if you're not sure which shoot to pick, you just cut an end off it and see if it's alive. And it's alive because it's got green on the end of it. So now, having done all that pruning and then what's called wood pulling out, you end up with a vineyard that looks like this. And then there's a third thing one needs to do at this stage of the year, which is tie these plants down. And we'll show you that in a second when I get some ties. Right, from now on and throughout the entire summer, when anybody's working in the vineyard, they need to have one of these, or a jacket or whatever, with lots of pockets, because you need, in your pocket, you need some of these, which are little clips, we'll show you in a minute. You need some of these, which are rubber ties that help hold the stem up. You need a pair of secateurs, in case something's been missed. And you need these, which is what we're going to do now, is we're going to what's called tie down. Now the idea of this is you have to gently bend the shoot down, and if it's long enough, you wrap it round the top wire and then bound to the bottom wire, and then put a tie on. And you do the same on the other side. Take it up, turn it around, and around, and down. The rubber ties I was telling you about, see that's separate, so you put this on. The idea of the rubber ties is they expand. When they get too tight they burst rather than cut into the plant. Now the reason we do this system, these two wires are fixed so they don't go up and down. The reason you curve round and bend down, well, the reason you bend down is because nature has deemed that the end of the plant grows quicker than the middle. If you bend down like this, it controls the flow of sap, so you get more even growth. The reason you twist it around the wire like this is because you can imagine if you have 10 shoots growing up to this height here, and the wind comes along, they wave about, and it can pull this off, so it makes it more stable. And it's called Pendelberg, and that's what it looks like.